a self-heating meal, a hot meal anytime, any place. So quickly, for those of you that don't know what an MRE is, an MRE is a meal ready to eat, and they're issued by the U.S. government to soldiers as a meal that's ready to eat anywhere, any place. So the concept of this is very, very similar, but this is a civilian meal. And if you're interested in more of these kind of military rations and instant type meals, I should put a link down in the description where you can find the playlist to all of my ration tastings. So if I were to compare this to an MRE, it's a little bit different. This only includes the entree rather than including any kind of snacks or things like that. So here are the directions. It's pretty straightforward. Oh, so this includes a spoon, a napkin, a moist towelette, all in one packet there. A packet of water. Very cool. And here's the entree itself. It looks a bit more like a frozen dinner. So I've read that the company that makes these heater meals is the company that actually patented these flameless ration heaters for the U.S. government. It's going to use the same kind of technology. I immediately noticed that this has a different color than the government issued ones, and it seems to be a little bit bigger, which makes sense because the entree looks to be bigger. And it's also packaged in this plastic container rather than being in a pouch. Regular sized spoon, a moist towelette, a napkin. This is no salt gourmet seasoning, interesting. Oh, and salt and pepper. You tear it open, place the entree with the film side against the heater, and make sure it has that contact. This contains a bag of salt water that's pre-measured, which is a little bit different than the MREs, because MREs just use plain water. Pour that into here. Fold this up, and then reseal it like that. And then we place this back into the box. All right, be back in 10 minutes. So I'm back with a heater meal. Besides the Japanese ration, this has probably been the most exothermic flameless ration heater experience that I've ever had. All right, let's take this out and see how it is. Here's the meal. It has a very chemical smell to it, and it's quite hot. It smells like a frozen TV dinner. Here are the big beef pieces, nice cubes. And you've got some mushroom, and there are the mashed potatoes. I do like the fact that this is in a container, so you can just eat right out of the container, but I also understand that MREs need to be compact and can't be too heavy, so I understand why that was eliminated in the MREs. I'll get a bite with mashed potato, a bit of beef, and a bit of mushroom. All right, here you go. In terms of flavor, it's okay. The meat is pretty tender, but it has kind of an odd texture to it. It's a little bit rubbery, but it's firm. And the mushrooms taste kind of canned. But what I do like is the gravy isn't too salty. The mashed potatoes have kind of a pasty consistency and taste mostly of gravy. Don't taste too much of mashed potatoes. And like most of these rations, this isn't supposed to be a gourmet meal. It certainly will fill you up. It tastes like something you would get out of a cafeteria. But after a really long day of hiking or camping, the last thing you want to do is spend a lot of time making a meal. And in that situation, this would probably be amazing. I do want to try this custom blend of seasonings and see how that changes things. It smells a little bit like salad dressing, so I'm going to add that to this and see how that changes things. It tastes like a seasoning salt, but it's not salty, and that adds a lot of flavor. Garlic, onion, and a tiny bit of a kick to it as well. And I really love the fact that that contains no salt. So for those that are watching their salt intake, this is a great thing. I still want some hot sauce, but I think that's just out of habit. So if you're looking for a meal that cooks and heats itself, maybe this is something for you. I purchased